This is Jared with Onward Blade Works. We've been cutting the heck out of stuff so far, and wanted to cut up a couple more things and have a little closer view. Wet wood is typically pretty easy to work with, and that's what we're dealing with here today. We saw this 4 or 5 inch tree off with our Zorin saw from Silky Saws, and we're using this tree as a chopping block now. The Jackal Tomahawk here is the lightweight version with paracord handle. This is multicam and coyote wrap in the katana style. The pommel is smooth versus the skull crusher pommel, cruncher. That's why I call it the canine skull cruncher right here. The teeth are kind of sharp, but they're blunted a little bit, rounded over so they don't poke you. But they can still do the job that they're intended for, which you'll have to guess at. This is a black canvas micarta and a Smith gray Cerakote on this gray tomahawk, and this is the coyote tan Cerakote on this lightweight model. So we're gonna set this aside and use the lightweight version to do a little work on this little piece of gum limb. Now, there's lots of chores you can do in the wilderness, and cutting up steaks is just one of them. So let's just make a little stake here, like if we were gonna drive something into the ground and use it as a trap trigger. So we'll start by cutting at about a 45-degree angle along the limb, and then we'll make a stake. So we've got our stake, little donor, and we're going to use our mohawk edge, the spike embedded into the stump, so that we can use both hands to control our workpiece and get the job done faster, safer, and maybe even more accurately. Depends on how much practice you have using a whittling knife. So you can see now we got a nice steak. We can go back and we can cut it off square. If you're brave, you can hold the steak on one side and strike with the other. Often you'll get some splitting on the end of the steak if you cut it out square, which is what happened to this one. So now we're going to show you how to do it by cutting it off with a saw. What we'll do is we'll cut them into basic lengths, then we'll trim the one side off with the saw, and then we will do some whittling. So we'll start off with this same old piece that we just worked with. Cut it off at an angle. Let's do 2. Alright. Now we'll take our saw, cut them off square on one side, the thick side, thick side will be squared off. Basically, this is absolutely hardly no pressure whatsoever that I'm putting on this saw blade. Sharp saw will cut like nothing you've ever seen, and don't fall for the tricks that the commercial manufacturers, the sportsman's manufacturers will tell you. They can make a product that's made for outdoorsmen. Well, I think that's a little honky. If you want professional quality tools, you have to buy professional quality tools, and this is a Silky, which is made in Japan by the people who are masters at the trade, arborist and carpentry. So now we will put one of these stakes on the ground and do another little mohawk edge planer blade demonstration. It's important to be very careful because you have so many sharp edges on these tomahawks. Don't trip while you're working with these things. Have a good footing, flat level ground if possible, and keep in mind that the force that you put into the stake is also getting transmitted to the tomahawk, so you can pull it out when you least expect it, and then you've got a tomahawk in your foot. So make one more. And if you have experience doing this with a knife, you know just how fast that was. Anyway, we've got 2 sticks, blunt points. Obviously, the more you make, the faster it gets. These can be used for any number of purposes around camp, holding things down, making traps. This one tool, the tomahawk, can do it, but it really helps to have a saw. So the silky saws, this is this kind of a timber saw, and it's $94, and the folding version is $60, which really is a steal if you ask me. And this comes with different size teeth and either black, red, blue, or yellow handles. So you'll find these on our website before too long. And of course, we hope that you like our tomahawks, and we'll make them part of your bushcrafting arsenal. That's all I got to say for today. Be safe, safe travels, over and out.